Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Garrick, and today from Hunkydory Crafts we have For the Love of Stamps. These are layering bird stamps. So we have got the layering woodpecker, the layering blue tit, and the layering long-tailed tit, and we also have these layered silhouette flowers and foliage. Together, you guys, they make beautiful cards just like this one that my friend Debbie made. Can't wait to show you how to do this, so come back and play with it. All right, you guys, so let's take a look at this card that Debbie made. This is a 6.5 by 5-inch card, and I first should explain that she inked the background with blues and greens to get this really beautiful background, and then she used the layering, like the flowers, the flowers and foliage along the bottom edge, and then she put like gold jewel dazzle stickers there. And then we've got the beautiful little greeting right here, wishing you joy on your journey. And then when she stamped, and I'll show you the process here that she went through for stamping this, and then we're going to do one together at the end, she went ahead and she used her tiny scissors and cut out this image and foam taped it to the card. We have our little tiny scissors and foam taped that to the card front, just to give it that added dimension, which I think is really nice. That also means, which I'll show you in the next card, that if you're cutting out the image, you can put it on any kind of background. So that's always a nice thing to do. So let's show you on the back here. Hunkydory has done this really nice thing where they've given you a recipe on the back for what colors of ink to use with each layer, which makes this so simple. So for the first layer, we're going to be using the Dove Gray, the Electric Blue, and then they say second generation stamping on both of these. But what that means is you're going to stamp it first on a scrap piece of paper, and then you're going to go ahead and stamp it. So it takes a little bit of that bright blue away. For example, this would be the same two colors. You've got electric blue, and then you're added, well actually this is royal blue, but they want it screened back a little bit. So they are having you use that second stamping image, and that's called second generation stamping. The third layer is the yellow, the warm honey, and then also adding a little bit of, what is the green? So then you're going to be stamping that yellow color, that warm honey, and when you stamp it over the blue, it's going to give you a little bit of a green effect. Here on this one, it's more of a little aqua effect. And then royal blue, which is the very dark blue here. And then the final layer is charcoal. So it gives you that color guide. Now, I'll show you later how you can take the same image and stamp it in two different ways using your own color combination. All right, let's take a look at another one. This one is the woodpecker. Isn't that cool? So this is the woodpecker one, and for her background, first of all, Debbie put this on a slimline card, which is 3.5 by 3.5 by 8 inches long, and she covered her card using Foggy Forest 12 by 12. See the little trees in the background, and see that's what I'm talking about on this one. You can have patterned paper if you're stamping and then cutting out your image. It doesn't matter what pattern that you put it on. It gives you a lot more freedom than trying to stamp it directly to the paper. So, and then she also used the Foggy Forest die cuts here and here, used that border, and then stamped the greeting that comes with the woodpecker, knock knock, it's your day, which I think that is so cute. Once again, on the back, they're giving you that recipe for the colors to make that really easy. They're using the Prism ink collection, which we have on Paper Wishes, and all the links for these items, if you look down below the video, if you're watching us on paperwishes.com, look down below the video and you'll see all the cards listed there. If you click on each card, it will give you all the supplies and inks and everything used for that particular card. So you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. All right, I love that card. She did a great job. So on this one right here, you guys, this is the layering long-tailed tit. And on this one, this is a 6.5 by 5-inch card, and it's first got the solid color Meadow Blooms cardstock, and then Debbie used the 6 by 6 pattern cardstock, and this of course is 6 inches wide, so she just trimmed it down a little bit this way and left a nice little border there. And then on this one, I believe, yes, she did. She used different color combinations on this one. She used a lot of browns and things like that. But she also added right here from this sort of additional accessory collection, this got a really nice little branch. And so the first thing is you ink this part, the solid part, a brown color, and then this part you can stamp on top of it using either a darker brown or a black to get that branch. And then there's this really nice pine sprig right here that you can add as well to that. So that's what Debbie did with that one. I thought she did a really beautiful job. So to check the colors out on that one, just click on that card down below the video. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you guys, just look below the video in the description box, and there's a link. You click on that and it'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. All right, for this last one, we're going to actually do some stamping. So this is one that I did using the same stamping collection. So as you can see here, two totally different color combinations for this bird. And what I did was I used the stamping recipe that's right here on the back. So I started out with Dove Gray, okay, and did my second generation stamping on that. But for this one, I'm stamping on craft cardstock. I'm not stamping on white. So let me tell you, if you're using white, like Debbie did, we really like this Hunkydory lightweight essential card block. It's essentially stamping white cardstock. We love it. Absorbs the color really well, and this is our favorite. So this is linked also with all of the different cards. But what I did, when I want to try something different, I used, this is brown cardstock in different shades, and I used the craft cardstock here. Okay, this is a really nice collection, and I just wanted to try something a little different. For the background right here, I used Wood and Woodlands cardstock and coordinating solid cardstock as well, and then the craft. And then, so what I started off doing was first of all, I stamped my little branch right there. Okay, and then I followed the recipe here to add all my colors. I'm going to show you how to do that, but before I do, I wanted to show you here, I did the exact same thing using white cardstock and using different colors, my own color combination. This bird does not exist in nature, but I wanted a pink and blue bird, so that's what I did. So for this one, you guys, I used that same Dove Gray, all right, and then I also used Lagoon, okay, this nice ocean blue, it's a lighter blue. I used Buttercup for the yellow, and I used Blush for that pink. And then for the branch and everything, I used the same colors that I did here. So I just wanted to show you that before we get into this one. All right, so first of all, a Misty stamp pad, extremely useful for this. In fact, I don't know how anybody would do this if they didn't have a platform. You'd have to line up everything and all of your layers. Oh, it'd be a lot. So I really recommend using a platform. And if you don't have one and you're interested in investing in one, borrow one from a friend and make a card and see what you think about it. They are an investment, but you'll never go back. You'll never go back to using your block if you have a stamping platform. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is take these, which got stained up pretty nicely, and we're going to do our first layer. And I like to do this so that the tail was sort of extending off the branch right here. We're going to go just like that. And then we're using Dove Gray for this. And I didn't, because I'm using a darker cardstock, the second generation stamping, ooh, I gotta get this down there. The second generation stamping wasn't so great for me because I am not stamping on white. So let's see how it looks by taking off some of the ink. We're getting rid of that first layer. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. It might just be too light for this dark. It's been so long since I did this card, I don't remember. Way too light. All right, so we're not going to do the second generation stamping on this dark craft. I think it really needs full ink. There we go. that showed up nicely. All right, and I'm gonna get a wipe here. All right, so the next layer is this little part of the head. Okay, and what you do is you're going to take this and you're just going to align the little beak part. And because you're dealing with a lighter color with this dove gray, it can be a little tricky. There we go. And then I'm going to use warm honey. Oh, that's right. I changed my mind on this one too. The warm honey on this craft cardstock was a little too light, so I'm going with mustard on it. Being a little bit of a rebel and changing it up. But I wanted you guys to feel free to be able to do that. Go. All right, and I'm just following along here, right here. So this next one is pink petal. Once again, I wanted to change it up a little bit, so I'm using letterbox red. But it's still got that same intensity, so it should work. Well, it did work just fine because I already did it. So for this one, taking this layer, and we're aligning it with the outside layer that we already stamped in the dove gray. I gotta have a sip of water. Okay. So we're aligning that. And the part to remember to align the most is like the beak area. Now we're gonna do the little belly part, and that's this one right here. And for that one, I'm using the letterbox red just because I didn't want to use the recommended pink petal. I wanted something a little bit more vibrant. Go. All right, and then the next layer right here is the Prussian blue. And for this one, we definitely are going to do the second generation stamping because it is so vibrant. Make sure I get the right one. Okay. You're just sort of aligning the tail and the beak, I found. Nice way to do that. All right, so we're going to put the Prussian blue on here. It's a very, very dark blue. Then we're going to go ahead, just take that, get rid of some of that. Go ahead, do our stamp. There we go. So it's scaled back nicely. And then we have one more color. The last color right here is charcoal. We're going to take this piece. Now I should mention here, like these are different layers. They look very, very similar, but they have different details on them. This one, once again, aligning the tail and the beak, kind of the feet. This one, they don't want us to do second generation. They want full charcoal. Okay. So there's our little birdie. Just like that. And then what I ended up doing, I took these little guys right here, and I stamped at this point, once I got my bird done, I stamped the foliage around this, the greeting. I inked my edges all the way around using Friar Brown ink. and then matted that and put this on my card front, and then added a little bit of that brown polka dot from the brown ribbon collection, just because I thought it was nice and whimsical. So you guys, these are just really fun collection of stamps, whether you're a beginning to card making or stamping, or whether you're an expert stamper. I just think they're a lot of fun to use, especially if you're a bird lover. So definitely check out the Money Saver that we have right there on the right-hand side of the screen. And all the items are listed down below this video. And if you want to know the specific colors for the specific stamping that we use, just click on each photo down below the video of each card, and it'll open that up and it'll give you the entire list, menu of everything that we used. If you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box, click on it, and it'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you next time.